Hi, this is Ilma Art Studios photograph for today. Tulips, purple ones. Hi, check my website at ilmaarts.com for more artworks and photographs. Today, I'd like to share with you Psalm 9, verse 18. It says, "The needy will not be ignored forever. The hopes of the poor will not always be crushed." Here's my poem. A hope for the needy. Have you ever been neglected by anyone? Are you often minimized by someone? There is hope for those whose needs are never met. The needy will not be ignored forever, as the Bible says. Rejoice to those among you whose spirits were crushed. It won't be long when the enemy will be defeated and hushed. There is hope for the needy and the brokenhearted. Christ came so they too, like him, will be victorious and resurrected. Here's my poem. Here's my essay. As a result of growing up in a dysfunctional family, I became a very needy person. When I studied the stages of development of a child, I realized that there were so many stages that I skipped because of many unmet needs. Erik Erikson's psychoanalytical theory focuses entirely on personality formation. Erikson suggested 8 ages individuals progress through from birth to adulthood in order to feel self-fulfilled. Erikson looks at each age or stage as a struggle between one positive and one negative emotional state. I'm a survivor of childhood complex traumas, which led me to God directly. The Bible says that the needy will not be ignored forever, and the hopes of the poor will not always be crushed. Christ died for people like those who are crushed and needy. Prayer. Lord, thank you for dying for me. Reflection. What do you usually do when you can't get your needs met? Oh, I used to panic a lot when I was still very when I was still unspiritual. Like, I thought I was spiritual, but I was religious. And so what I did when my needs are not met is I just panic and try to find someone who can meet that needs. But when God called me into his fold, I realized that he's enough. Like in Psalm 20, I can't remember. He says in the Bible, you have all that you need, because he has given us all that we need. The problem is, like, we need more than what we actually we want more than what we actually just need. But in my case, it is very hard to talk about unmet needs when you were traumatized as a child, because what happens to your brain when you were a child, it's not developed, and it gets stuck in that stage where you didn't get those needs met. And it took me over like almost half a decade to actually understand what was the process of my healing, and why am I so needy, and what made me so needy. And all these 50 years of my life, I was trying to find answers why I am the way I am right now. But thanks be to God that he has accepted me for who I am. He actually created me the way I am, and he knew, and he had a purpose for me. And this is one of the purposes he had for me, to do a ministry of proclaiming his word to people and give my testimony about what he has done in my life. So, if you are needy, if you are crushed, if you feel so alone, feel so brokenhearted, don't despair, because God is always there for you, and run to him. When you run to him, you will find that even in the midst of all this suffering, you will still find joy, because he is in your heart. Thanks for watching, and I hope you check my website at ilmaars.com for more artworks and photographs. Have a blessed day.